Good morning, everybody. Let me see if I got my earbuds hooked up. No, I didn't. Okay. Now they're hooked up. Get rid of these notifications. Goodness. Hey, Kay. Did you have a good weekend? I did. I spent the weekend with my son, chilling out. Move this. Another missing child, girl. From Houston. I'm sure you know, though. Oh, I hate that he's sick. Oh, my goodness. Are all y'all sick? Oh. Hey, Mel. Okay, good night, Joshy. Yep, King Davila. Yes. I remember. I don't know whatever happened to that case. I didn't follow it. Did they ever find him? Oh, really, Kate? My little nephew, he had to have tubes put in his ears. Mel's getting good at rip leading. I can't talk reading. Yeah, I had to take me a little YouTube break. I'm like to stay online when my son's around anyways. It's not good to be online all the time. You take a break, get refreshed. I did upload a couple of short videos yesterday. That Teen Mom 2 guy, David Eason, Janelle Evans' husband, he's not going to get in any trouble for this unless she presses charges against him, because he shot and killed her dog. But I read after I did that video that actually he beat that dog, Nugget, before he shot the dog, and he was covered in Nugget's blood. Oh, really, Kay? Hey, Lisa. Okay, so King's dad was charged for that. Hey, Sarah, good morning. Yeah, this is in North Carolina. I thought it was a felony if you shot a dog. I mean, you would think the state would charge him regardless of what she's got to say. Dogs have emotions and feelings and stuff. I think they got a soul myself. It made me so mad. And Nugget, that's an expensive dog too, because French bulldogs, most of the time, can't give birth naturally. They got to have a C-section. Why didn't he rehome that dog? That's how I got Lady. She did the same thing, but she didn't nip the girl, but she tried. But they used to let this little toddler carry Lady around by her throat and stuff when she was a puppy. Is what the other kid in the house had told me. But you don't teach your kids to get up in dog spaces because you know how dogs are. He is off the hinges. That's all he does is post stuff about guns and ammunition and this and that. I guarantee that dude's never hunted a day in his life. He don't need no guns. The way he is, he doesn't need guns. And he's very violent. I mean, his temper, he just goes from 0 to 100, just like that. He has allegedly abused Janelle's son, Kaiser, the one she has with Nathan Griffin. He can't abuse Jace because Jace lives with Janelle's mom, Barbara. Hey, Mel. Yeah, okay. You have to watch, dogs. If you pull their ears and their tails, little kids and stuff, You might get dog bit, and that's a good thing that you're teaching him, how to be around dogs. Um, if okay, I caught something in his statement that he made, David. He said that the dog had already did that before. Well, if the dog had already bit the little girl before or nipped at her, why were they telling her to get in the dog's face and give it a kiss and filming it? It don't make sense. If the dog had done that, was his excuse. Yeah, they're all learning. Yeah, yeah, okay. See, right there sees my lie. Someone commented yesterday and said that they felt like that he just did that video, setting it up so he could kill Nugget. Premeditated murder. Yeah, Lisa. He should have done something besides kill it. Yeah, I remember when my son was little, I had this little poodle puppy. And I remember teaching him, how to, if he wanted to hold it, sitting down, how to hold it. You just got to correct them because little kids, they'll try to pick up a puppy by its neck and stuff. They don't know any better. It's an idiot. He's a complete idiot. I can't stand that man. I've not watched this season, but because I've not had time, but they had took him off because when that Parkland shooting happened, that dummy got on Twitter or Instagram somewhere, and he posted a video of Janelle shooting like a AR-15. Yeah, he's an idiot. He has to have those guns and all that stuff to make him feel powerful, because really inside he feels powerless. Yeah, okay. Well, lady, she's got border collie in her and beagle, and she's not the greatest with kids. Like with my son, yeah, he's an older kid who's not loud. She's all right, but she just, it's not that she don't like little kids, they make her nervous, I can tell. Hey, Carla. Yeah, it's really sad. He needs his ass kicked, what he needs. He needs his ass kicked for that. He should be in jail. What do you mean, am I okay? I'm a little agitated this morning. Mel Mel, why? Can you tell? Yeah, I don't even know why I am. I don't know. I get like that, especially about dogs and stuff. And plus, I about put my eye out this morning with mascara. Not that I poked it. It's like after I put it on, it's like got all down in there. I've been up since the crack of dawn. Got it and got my son ready for school. Yeah. Yeah, that's why a lady is 2K. Yeah, I'm a little aggravated. I do know why. I kind of forgot for a second, though, to be honest. When I get anxious, I can't remember anything. I just kind of am. I'm not going to say why, but I just kind of am. And it's all online related, too. I went to bed early, too. I watched the new documentary on Susan Cox Powell's disappearance. It was like a 2-night special. I thought it was a 3-night special, but I guess I was wrong. I guess it was a 2-night. And oh my gosh, I learned some very interesting things. And the other day in my community settings, I posted the first night's video to that. And today, when I get off here, I'll find the second part. I'm sure Oxygen will upload the second part. Did you watch it, Kate? Did you watch the last one last night? Yeah, you need to watch part 2. We may not get around to talking about Susan Powell this morning, but we may. Who knows? I wanted to talk about my first video I did of Maleah yesterday. I called her Maleah. It's Maleah. It's Maleah Davis. She is 5-year-old, uh, missing from Houston, Texas. Friday night, her stepdad said that he was going to pick up Maleah's mom from the airport, Bush Airport, I guess. And he said, and he had his little son with him, which is like 1 or 2 years old. I think he's 2. And on the way there, he heard a popping sound. He pulled off the side of the road, thought he had a flat tire. 3 Hispanics get out, knock him in the head. And he said, crap. He said he was in and out of consciousness. But, anyways, they ended up dropping him off somewhere with his 2-year-old son. But they took Maleah with them. He wanders to a hospital with his kid in tow. Okay. Houston Police Department released a photo on Twitter of him. He's got a big old place right here on his head. But I read he said he got knocked in the back of the head. Of course, he could have fell forward, hit concrete or something and did that. I don't know. Hey, Cindy, Pamela, Meg, Valerie. That story just sounds fishy to me. And I will say I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But why did they take Maleah? Oh, and he said when the Hispanics first approached him, when they pulled off on the side of the road and they approached him, they told him that Maleah looked nice and sweet, something like that, like in a sexual nature, I guess. I don't know. I didn't believe that. I don't believe any of that story, to be honest with you. They're looking for people to come forward to see, say if they've seen, I think his name is Darian Bentz. Yeah, it is sketchy. I'm good, Puss in Boots. How are you? It sounds sketchy. Okay, so her mama had been out of town. And I guess maybe he had been watching Maleah and the little boy. But my theory is he let something happen to her, or he did something to her and got rid of her and made up this abduction story. There's no evidence to support that, but my gut feeling tells me that. And the sad thing about this little girl's had brain surgery before. But if, that's just a theory. If she really was abducted, there is medicine that she needs. Oh, yes, Lisa. Yes, I watched it last night too. Gosh, I got all kinds of notes. Plus, I've been listening to Josh Powell's psychologist. He's the one that ordered like the psychosexual evaluation for Josh. That's why he freaked out. He was going to have to take a lie detector test for that evaluation too. But anyways, back to Maleah. She is a really, really pretty little girl. I mean, she's beautiful. I just find it strange that they took Maleah but dropped off the man and the child. You would think abductors would be afraid he would be able to describe them to a sketch artist or something. Like they're a witness. But they just took Maleah. Hey, Herbie. How are you? Hey, Kim Smith. Yeah, it's usually, yeah. What is he trying to say? It's like a gang, like these guys were a gang, It's kind of sketchy. It's just like, Hispanic males. But not, like he said, he was in and out of consciousness for 24 hours. Really? I mean, I just don't buy it. I know he's got that big bump on his head, but he could have done that himself. Oh, yeah. I got a message from Darley's friends this morning and supporters. Um, there's something coming out. Let's see. Let me look at the message real quick. It says 2020 will have a condensed version of The Last Defense on this coming Friday, May 10th on ABC. I think they may announce some things and add stuff they didn't before. I'm not sure. So, and I did message back and I said, well, I heard someone called at the Innocence Project and, was trying to see if they really did pick up Darley's case. And they basically wouldn't answer. They didn't say yay or nay. And that was Brian that called. He had a video up about it. So I don't know. Brian seems to think that the Innocence Project didn't pick her case up. So I don't know. If you're watching, Brian, leave a comment and tell us what that was about. Yeah. So the Nissan Altima is missing. Yeah. So I guess not only was okay, so one of the guys would have had to have drove the car, you know, and what did they take it to? Like a what do you call that? When people take stolen cars and sell them to those places. Chop shop. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. Gosh, I could not think of that for anything. Good morning, Samara. Chop shop. Yeah, I forgot to turn your cow on, but we'll turn the flamingo on. I was just rushing around this morning, doing this, doing that. My tendonitis is bothering me. That knot is hurting this morning. Hey, Christina. Oh, yeah. So I got on Twitter and I was looking at Houston Police Department's post that had hit the guy's picture in it. And all the comments underneath, everybody is saying the same things that we're saying. It's fishy, holes in the story. It doesn't make sense. It's just so convenient. They didn't take his kid. They took his girlfriend's kid or his wife's kid. His wife's kid. Today is National Nurses Day. Oh, cool. Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, they would have had to, if that really happened, they would have had to been targeted or someone following them or something like that. But it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's always usually a step parent, unfortunately. It's what I was talking about with my hubby this morning. I said, people like this is what gives step parents a bad name. Oh, okay, Kim. I'm glad you emailed me. I was going to give you my Instagram name in the comment, but I forgot. So I'll email you back and give it to you. Yeah. Hey, that could be a theory. Could have been involved in an online pedophile ring. Hey, Witsy. You didn't get a notification? I posted it in my community settings this morning on my community page. I was going to do a live stream at 10. I've been trying to remember to do that because nobody gets notified. And I'm waiting to see if the mother comes out and speaks or not. Usually the parents will go on TV and, beg the abductors to bring them back. I had that on my mind to say, oh, yeah, yeah. So when they were supposed to pick up the mother from the airport, right? Well, so nobody arrives to pick her up. So I reckon she calls a family member to come and pick her up. Um, but I don't think she reports on missing until like the next day, till like Saturday. If I'm wrong, y'all can correct me. Well, it's a pace. I can't talk, y'all. I'm so aggravated, annoyed. My legs hurting. It's a place where you can like post pictures. You just go to my channel, my homepage channel, and at the top you should say community. No, he had went to the hospital, I think, Mel. We are talking about Maleah Davis from Houston, Texas. An Amber Alert was issued for her. According to her stepfather, they were on the way to the airport, Bush Airport, to pick up Maleah's mom. They heard a popping noise. He thought he had a flat tire. He pulled over. When he got out to check, I guess some Hispanic guys, he claims, pulls in, looks at Maleah, says she looks sweet, nice, knocks him in the head, kidnaps him all, takes the car. They take the car. He claims he was in and out of consciousness. And anyways, they dropped him off, I guess, 24 hours later, and his little baby, his 2-year-old son. They dropped them off, but they kept Maleah, and he walks to a hospital with his son in tow. So it does sound fishy once you keep saying it. Hey, Cheryl. Once I say it out loud like that, I mean, that story don't even make sense. It sounds so stupid. Hey, One Love, if I didn't say hi. And Meg, if I didn't say hi to you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Megan, the Duchess, yeah, she just had a baby this morning. I guess she had it this morning, but it's a boy. Hey, San. We don't know what's going to happen yet with Maleah. I mean, she's missing. I think someone left a comment this morning. I can't remember the name right off, but they was like, they should make this guy take a lie detector test about this child. And that's so true. And they need to be looking in the ditches, the lakes, the rivers, she also said. Hope Pamela says her Yorkie's named Harry after the prince. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, Mel, good point. I know we're kind of theorizing about some of this, but what could have happened? But yeah, we just hear this so much that we know what's up. I mean, if the guy's innocent, I'll say, hey, I was wrong. Sorry. But I don't feel it. I feel like he is lying. He's lying. I mean, maybe he accidentally let her get hurt. Maybe he didn't kill her. But it just seems like 9 times out of 10, when a kid's missing, it's the step parent or one of the parents. You know? Okay, let's see what else I have wrote down here. Oh, I watched the Susan Cox Powell 2-night series on Oxygen. Of course, Susan is missing too. And when did Susan disappear? December, it was the 6th or the 7th, 2009. She's presumed dead. It was alleged Josh killed her. And gosh, is this a strange case? Not only was Josh physically and mentally abusive to Susan, but her father-in-law was in love with her, obsessed with her. It was very creepy. He had hours and hours of video footage of Susan. He would follow her around. Yes, he would follow her around. I'm going to tell you some of the really creepy things they found in Steve Powell's house. He had Susan's toenail clippings. He had dirty hygiene stuff he'd got out the trash can. He had cotton balls where she took off her nail polish. Of course, he had her panties, bras, anything. He would steal her laundry. Yeah. And there was even a secret tape. He actually taped himself telling Susan that he was in love with her. When she just basically tells him, like, I'm married to your son, and I'd just like to keep it like a father-daughter relationship. He was a sicko. And he also was filming the neighbors' girls taking baths, using the bathroom. I mean, he was a sicko. And Josh Powell, they didn't find real porn on his computer, but they found cartoon porn. And some of the cartoon porn, well, almost all of it was about incest. So since it was cartoon porn, he couldn't be charged for it. But that's why that psychologist ordered that psychosexual evaluation. And if he had had that evaluation done, he would have had to have took a lie detector test. They give you a lie detector test and they'll ask you, have you ever watched child porn? And more than likely, they would have asked him something about Susan's disappearance too. So I think that's one reason he killed the boys. And another reason, the boys were getting older and they were talking more. And I really do believe that boy, when he said his mom was in the trunk of the car that night they went camping, he was smart enough to know. That youngest Powell daughter, Puss in Boots, that girl is in denial. I could tell when she was talking that in her brain she was sitting there thinking my dad was a monster too. You know she was. She's not that stupid or blinded. Come on now. He was Steve Powell. He tried to ruin, and he did, Josh and Susan's marriage. Come in between them. I think after Susan rejected him, after he hit on her, they moved to Utah. When she rejected him, that infuriated him. He hated women anyways, I think. And so he started putting stuff in Josh's head, and I think he convinced Josh to murder her, or kind of pushed him into it. I mean, and then here is Michael Powell, Josh's brother. They suspect that Josh confided in him. He could have even helped dispose of Susan's body because he took his car, which could have been fixed. It was torn up. Something happened with it. But he took his car to a scrap metal place to have it crushed. He was so worried about that car that he was calling the satellite people to get images of that junkyard. I guess he wanted to see if his car was still there or if it had been destroyed. After Josh had killed the kids and himself, they said that the forensic evidence findings come back, and there was blood, Susan's blood, in the couch and some on the carpeting. Yeah, that's a shame. One of the little boys said that they left Mommy where the big crystals are. And to me, I thought the boys either talking about large icicles, how they'll hang down from rocks, or he's talking about in a mines. Because Josh had made a comment to people that the best place to get rid of a body if you killed somebody would be in one of those old mine shafts. It's very terrible. It's a very sad case. Um, I think they were saying on there last night that Steve's obsession with Susan, it made all these other chain of events happen, which led up to Susan's death, Josh's death, the boy's death. It all goes back to Steve Powell. Can you imagine living in the house with your father-in-law and he's always videotaping you? I mean, he's hitting on you. He's in the bathroom with you, filming you do your makeup. He's sticking mirrors underneath the bathroom door to see her naked. Can you imagine? So, he did all this stuff. I mean, you could see him they had videos of him. He'd be filming Susan. He'd zoom in on her breast or her legs, or he would follow her to work and she would get in her car, kind of move her dress up. You know how you do when you get in, have a dress on. And he would be like, oh, she did that for me. He videotaped everything about himself. He would videotape himself watching a video of Susan and doing what? Masturbating. I hate to say that word. I really do. But yes, he videotaped himself watching the videos of the neighbors' girls too and doing the same thing. Oh my gosh, he is so freaking gross. He was on one of those videos saying, I know some people may find my actions kind of strange. And I thought, kind of strange, you freak, is what I was thinking. He even wrote a song and recorded it for Susan. After Susan went missing, Josh put up a website about her, and Steve wrote a song and is singing, and it's on there. It is so weird. Yeah, strange is an understatement. Sweet Susie, I have been listening to that. I've not, well, I started listening to it. I've not got to finish that. It's a great podcast. So I guess when Josh and Susan first got married, they lived with Steve. And that's when he became obsessed with Susan. One of the reasons they lived with Steve is because Josh couldn't keep a job. And I would say that he couldn't keep a job because he couldn't be in control. I know he tried to be like a real estate agent or something like that, but he sucked at that. Josh is one of those people, or he was one of those people that it was his way or no way. So I was listening to a podcast about, it was the psychologist that evaluated Josh with his kids. And this is the same psychologist that ordered that psychosexual evaluation. But at the time that he evaluated with Josh and the kids, the incest cartoons porn hadn't came to light yet. But the doctor said, he just sat there and observed. You don't insert yourself into the family. You just sit there and take notes. And he said he did that, and that Josh was a textbook dad. He was there on time. He did all the appropriate things, as far as manners, this and that. But it was fake. The doctor said that. The doctor said it was fake. He said Josh was very controlling. When he talked with his boys in a very rough, stern voice, He said actually Josh and Charlie were on the floor, one of the little boys playing one day, and he said he watched Josh and the little boy's eyes meet, and the little boy was smiling at Josh. And he said that Josh smiled back, but his eyes weren't smiling. His eyes were deadlocked. Yeah, he's a pig. Yeah, he is. He is a total pig. He said the boys did act excited and happy to see their dad. But he just kept saying, he said this several times. He appeared to be like a textbook dad, but really he wasn't. He didn't look at the boys as like his kids that he loved. He looked at them like they were his possession, just like he looked at Susan. Something I found very strange, because I look at Josh and I just think, he was probably a really cruel, hateful person. But when him and Susan first met, Susan had a love for birds. I guess she had her little parrot, some kind of little bird. And so did Josh. And they say that he was very gentle with that bird and loved his bird. Most people that's evil monsters like him are mean to animals. Okay, Meow Meow. Sorry it triggered you. Loves. Night. Good night to you. Well, this doctor was asked about what he thought about the incest porn and stuff. And I can't remember all of what he said, but it was just basically was very alarming. And the boys had also told that their dad liked for them to lay naked in bed with him. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but the boys did say that. And they also kept saying that she went camping with them that night, but that Josh said that she was home in the bed and that Mommy was in the trunk and we left her where the big crystals are. And I really believe she's in a mine shaft somewhere. Oh my gosh. So Josh and his siblings, One Love, had a not so good childhood. His sister that actually wore the wire on Josh, oh gosh, what is her name? I've got it written down. Her last name is Graves. I do know that. She said she went on a business trip with Steve Powell, her dad, once. They were in a motel room. She was about 10 years old. She was in the other bed. Steve starts watching porn in front of his daughter, her 10 years old. She had to cover up her head. She knew it was wrong. She was embarrassed. She was humiliated. I can't even imagine. Yes. Josh's mother, when she filed for divorce, it was in the divorce paper or whatever documents that Steve exposed the kids to porn. He got, basically brainwashed Josh, and Josh talked to his mom like she was awful. Yeah. Yeah, his father brainwashed him. It's like his father had some kind of control over him. But in some of the videos, you know, Josh was in on with Susan and Josh looked annoyed. I saw a couple eye movements, like eye rolling and stuff in some of the videos. He had to have known that his dad was being perverted towards Susan. So I think Josh quit speaking to his dad for a little while and they moved to Utah. But then Steve and Josh started talking again, and he just told Josh that Susan was lying. She misread the situation. He wasn't hitting on her. And I was very shocked at Steve's youngest daughter. What's her name? Elena. She basically said that Susan flirted with Steve and did it to get attention. She totally took up for her dad. I mean, how can she be so blind? She was even trying to come up with excuses for the child porn, and I can't even remember what she said about it, but she was trying to come up with him some excuses. I could see in her face that the words she was saying were not true, and she did not believe what she was saying. Basically, you could see she didn't believe what she was saying. Yes, Valerie, exactly. He wanted control because he had never had control in his life. So that made Josh controlling because of his childhood. You're right. Yeah. Um she knows. She knows. She's just in denial. She's very loyal. She's very loyal to her father. I just don't know how she could be that way with all the videotapes. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of videotapes. All the stuff he had of Susan. I mean, there was other women on those videotapes too he would follow around. I'm surprised that man never did rape anybody. Yeah, Herbie, you did. Herbie, go to my community page. It was a couple days ago. I posted the first episode of this new documentary. It's by Oxygen. Or you can find it well, I don't know. No, yesterday I tried to find it on demand and couldn't find the first episode, but I like to watch stuff like a couple different times. They are all weird. Well, Susan's family, her mom and dad and sister, they all say, they was weird. When you met them, they was weird. They did not want Susan to marry him. Mm-mm. Her mom said that she told Susan that when she looked at Josh, she just saw evil. You know, she didn't want her to get married to him. The mom sensed it. It's on demand tonight at 11. Yeah, yeah. When I was looking at the TV this morning, I noticed it was on. I thought that it was a 3-night series, but I guess it's just two. It's it's very tragic. Those little boys were so cute. They have like a beautiful headstone. It's got a picture of the boys with their mom on it. It's beautiful. It's so sad. They are all together now. Susan she had spoken to a lawyer. She was going to divorce Josh. She would have left him. And the lawyer suggested she go around the house and document everything on video. And she did. And in that video, you could see the boys there. And she says in the video she hopes they have a happy ending. But she knew he was going to kill her because she had wrote in her journal. Steve likes to hear himself talk, Josh's dad, and he got his own self caught with those videos because Susan's dad and them were holding up signs, right down the street from where they lived. And they did that on purpose the cops wanted them to try to, I guess, rile up Josh and them. Anyway, Steve comes down there. There's a news crew there. He's sitting there running his mouth. And then he opens his mouth and says, Susan kept journals. Well, cops got a search warrant to go look for Susan's journals. And that's when they found off his child porn, all the videos he had done of Susan. He was arrested, and that's what got Josh's kids took. It is on Oxygen. It's channel 125 on mine. No, they didn't have a chance, mac and cheese. Yeah, she looks defeated. Yeah, she looks tired. They said he would give her like $100 a week for gas, groceries, everything. And one of her friends was on there, and they said that he actually got mad at her because she gave the boys a hot dog weenie apiece. He wanted her to give them a half of one apiece, split up one between them. What a I bet you he ate, though. I bet you he ate. Oh, yeah, they did say that. They said that he kept his own, like chips, salsa, snack food, and Susan wasn't allowed to touch it. It is. He's disgusting. People that's like that, they really feel weak inside. So they find somebody that they can beat down and do things to make them feel better about themselves, to make them feel powerful. It's all about control. Um, Domestic violence, I've been through it. It's very serious. I mean, I've got it wrote down right here. One out of every three women have been abused in their life, physically or sexually. 35 percent of women are abused too, or suffer abuse, it says. Um, 4,000 women each year die from domestic violence at the hands of their abuser every year. 4,000 women. It's crazy. I've also got some stuff here. Let me find it. Of course, we know what physical signs of abuse: black eyes, busted lips, red, purple marks on the neck, sprained wrists, bruises on the arms. You can also, when someone's being abused, you can also notice behavioral changes in them. You may notice the person is reserved and distant. They may drop out of activities they would usually enjoy. They'll cancel appointments or meetings with you at last minute. They're often late to work or other appointment. Exhibits excessive privacy concerning their personal life or the person with whom they're in a relationship. And they will also begin isolating themselves by cutting off contact with family members and friends. Now, abusers, they have to cut you off from your family because they know that people's outsiders can see more. You know what I mean? They'll know what's going on. They'll see bruises. I bet it is too. That's what I found last night. Kim Smith, the number probably is higher. I do know that I heard last night 3 women in this country every day are murdered by their abuser. They did say that. Um, Partners can sexually abuse you too. Of course, they'll force you to have sex, make you dress in a sexual way, make you feel like you owe them sex, or try to give you an STD, won't use condoms or other birth control. Uh-oh, Mama, I'll have to call you back. My mom's calling. Um, It says keep an eye out for things like excuses for injuries, personality changes, like low self esteem in someone who's always been confident, constantly checking in with their partner, never having money on hand, overly worried about pleasing their partner, skipping out on work, school, or other social outings for no clear reason, wearing clothes that don't fit. The season, like long sleeves in the summer to cover bruises. Oh, wow. Susan was just 28. I just came across something else. Susan was just 28 when she disappeared. Yeah, they will, Kim. They try to isolate. They have to keep you away from people because then people will find that their true colors out. See, abusers don't like to be outed out. You know, they don't like for nobody to know what they're doing, so they got to isolate. Yeah, sweet Susie. She was just 19. I married my abuser when I was 18. It's a sad case. It's a very sad. Um, the grandparents actually tried to tell the judge and everybody that they were afraid that Josh would kill the kids because the kids were talking more. The grandparents were smart enough to know that. Um, the poor lady that took the kids to do the supervision with Josh, that is about drove her crazy. I mean, I saw an old interview with her, and she was really nice. You could tell she was a gentle soul. You could really tell. But the kids just run ahead of her that day, and he shut her out. Gosh, yeah, Kim. Yeah, 26 years ago, yeah, you didn't have a lot of ways to communicate, phone or letter. Valerie says, those of you with young girls remember that this even happens in high school. We had a girl murdered by her boyfriend here in our town about 5 years ago. She broke up with him. He went to her house. Is this the one that went to her house and shot through her house and killed her? Yeah. He probably meant to kill her too, Susie. Yeah, it's not safe. My mom was talking and she's like, we were talking about this little girl missing. And she said, I hate to say this, but she wasn't talking about this little girl, but some of these kids that get picked up, they're like unattended, walking to school. And like she said, my son doesn't even go to the bus stop by himself. We go with him, you know. Yes, turquoise kitten. Yeah. I saw that video on Herbie's channel the other day. Yeah. She did say that. I don't like to talk about drama, but has anyone heard from her? Is she okay? Oh, really, Susie? We had a guy walk into the post office and kill his wife, shoot her. Herbie, at the turquoise kitten, she's talking about Analyzer in her video the other day, compared herself to Susan Powell. Oh, really, Christina? Maybe you need to refresh it. Love you, girl. Oh, really? Well, I'm gonna have to go check it out. I mean, that concerned me. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I know a lot of people didn't believe it, but crap, you don't ever know this day and time. Could be true, could not be. Um, I tried to find her channel, couldn't find it. I was gonna ask her if she was okay. You know, that could explain the reason why she acted like she did too. I don't know. I just know I had an abusive husband, and crap, I didn't even have a phone at the house. You know what I mean? Internet wasn't around then. Well, it was, but it wasn't popular. Oh yeah, no, no. That wasn't Herbie. It had the video. It was Aaron F. Sorry about that, Herbie. Yeah, it was very concerning when she compared herself to Susan. Was she in Dee Dee's chat yesterday? No. Hey, Maggie. Hearts to you, Maggie. Oh, Maggie. I got something. You're going to die. Maggie, I gave you a wrench the other day, remember? Maybe you didn't type back in the chat after I gave it to you. I have something that is so cool, but I can't show it to you because I need it for Sunny's video. But anyways, I have something you'll like, Maggie. You can appreciate it. It's kind of art in a way. Everybody's gonna like it. It's pretty cool. Oh, one thing, let me get off topic since I'm talking about my rooster. Tractor Supply has like this huge metal rooster statue for outside. And I think I'm gonna get it. It's $200. I think I'm gonna get it and put it on my hillside. Seriously. Well, Kim, I couldn't find that channel at all. I could not find that channel at all. I would hope. I almost ended my live stream, yeah. I would hope no one would lie about being abused. I'm not saying that she is by no means, but I would hope not, I saw some people say that. I mean, I'm not going to say that because I don't know, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. You really just don't. Ethan, I tried to look for it the other day after Aaron had that video up and could not find it. What she did was in the past, it's up to anybody else how they, if they like her or whatever. But I was concerned for her. I'm not going to lie. Oh, did you find the link? Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was concerned. Livia, did I say hi to you, honey? Oh, Kim says it's that penguin last channel spelled with a Q. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll leave her a comment. See if she's all right. Going from being married for like 15 years, not having your husband and son there, it has to be kind of rough. Did you see that big rooster? I bet you saw something else I got from there. I didn't get the big rooster yet, but I'm going to. My hubby came home and told me about it. He's like, I was going to get you that rooster. And I was like, hell yeah, get it for me. If it's a big statue, yeah. It's going to be cool. I'm out here fixing my walkway, like on the side. We're putting gravel. I'm going to go get me some plants. Oh, I will show it. I will show it. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what I got, because I probably won't get time to do a video for Sunny today anyway. So hold on. No, I'm not going to try. Okay, guys, I can't get to what I need because Sonny's on the porch, and he's not on the porch rails. He's really down on the porch, and I can't go get what I need. I had it sitting outside in a chair because he'll bite me and scratch me. Hey, Rita. But I got this huge rooster flower planter. Like, like you can hang it up, but I don't really want to put it outside. I just had it sitting out there in the chair because I wanted to show Sonny. It's this huge metal. It's big. It's cool. Let me see if I can. I thought I took a picture of it, but I may not have. I just got my dog started by going out there. There's what it is. It's really big. It's bigger than what that picture looks like. I mean, it's big. It's pretty cool. You gotta go get you one, San. Kim. Cool. There's a new rooster in town. I was gonna clickbait y'all and tell y'all I got a new rooster and do a video, but I thought I better not clickbait y'all. Oh, thanks, Herbie and Hooded Claw. Hooded Claw, how in the hell did you come up with that name? How in the world did you think of that name? The Hooded Claw, I love it. Oh, thanks. Thanks, y'all. Well, y'all, I'm going to get off here. I've got my dogs all bothered now. They're all up, so there's Skylar. That's my call. Actually, I've not fed her breakfast yet because I fed the other dog. She was just laying in bed. I figured she would eat when she got up anyways. But I got to go get some things done. Bath the dog, clean out another fish aquarium. Maybe do a video or something. Anyways, I love y'all. Thanks for chatting. I missed y'all over the weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Bye, Rita. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.